Hi there. How's it? Hi there. How's it going? It's been a bit. So today is a very different video. I have no ring light, as you'll notice. I don't want a bright light in my face when I'm talking about this, and also I couldn't be bothered to bring up the ring light today, so I messed with a few settings on my phone. And hopefully this does the trick. If not, I'm sorry, but this is important and I don't want to be distracted by light in my eye. We are going to be distracted by this girl, of course, but that's something that I can't really control. I can control the light. Anyway, I'm stalling. Now, I originally really wanted to film this outside in nature on a bright sunny day. Unfortunately, today is thunderstorming. And the reason I am not putting it off is because I know I will not film it. We will not film it if we don't get it out today. And also, we got our gift in the mail to ourselves, so we really want to open it. But we promised ourselves that we would get through this and then open our little gift that we got ourselves, and we will open it on camera as well. So I have notes, and as much as I want to try not to read off of my notes too much, again, this is a very important video. I'm sitting on a suitcase and it's not working. Like I said, this is really a last minute placement of my camera because I wanted to film outside. So anyway, my intention was to not read off of these too much, but honestly, I feel like all of this is really important and I'm uncomfortable. So we're going to, get through it. And as hard as it's going to be, I feel like this is a step in the right direction in terms of both just existence and also my digital footprint, our digital footprint, rather, our content. We really want to start shifting our focus to not only cosplay related stuff because I feel like it's a very easy trap to fall into. We love cosplay. We're not going to stop doing cosplay. This is by no means us saying, no, we're not doing cosplay. This is just another part in our journey, and yeah. We have been in various forms of treatment and therapy for both our physical and mental health since around grade 3. That is the earliest we can remember, and that is when we got our very first therapist. This therapist, as I mentioned, we were with her from grade 3 all the way up until 2020 when we were in crisis, and we needed her at a time in our lives that she unfortunately was not equipped for, despite claiming that she was. So while in active crisis after this therapy session went horribly wrong and we decided that we were not going to go back to her, we were notified that we got to the top of a DBT group therapy group class sort of thing. And we were paired with our current psychotherapist, who is an absolute gem. I'm gonna have to read for this one, I'm sorry. We realized that the talk therapy our first therapist offered, coupled with the constant attempts to get us to file police reports for every piece of information we shared, it significantly hindered our ability to heal. And it prevented us from seeking any other diagnosis outside of contamination OCD, which we were diagnosed with when we were, I believe, 14 or 15. Maybe earlier. I can't remember. I'm sorry. In contrast to our first therapist, our current psychotherapist offers an array of options, including DBT, which was taught in both a group setting and one-on-one. So we would have weekly group sessions, and then her and I would reconvene and go through what I learned and what did and did not work for me. This has allowed us to finally process trauma from all stages of life through things like DBT, EMDR, and prolonged exposure therapy. Through the pandemic, we honed in on a c-ptsd diagnosis and used prolonged exposure therapy to actually process our earliest childhood trauma that we could remember. And quick side note, the difference in how we look at this trauma, this specific trauma versus the other ones that we have not used prolonged exposure therapy for, is night and day. We can talk about this trauma, we can face not the individual, but we used to not even be able to use the familial term of this individual, or else it would send us into a spiral, flashback, whatever you want to call it. And now it is completely, it still is uncomfortable, but it is not the gut punch it once was. However, through this all, we were also beginning to question something else, and that was whether or not we were a system. Admittedly, we were not aware of the existence, really, of osdd. We did not feel like we fit into the criteria for DID, so we initially brushed it off. With disorders like osdd and DID, and I will get into all those terms in a second, the very nature of the disorder is, from my understanding, from our understanding at least, we're not professionals, is that you are not meant to know you have it. So I mentioned crisis in 2020, and this is where things initially came to a head, and we started questioning super hardcore. And I stress, this had been a thing. We had always really questioned systemhood and what it means to be a system, and if this is potentially something we align with. But in 2020, the crisis we realized was an alter fronting who had been dormant for years, and she came out and she had no idea how to handle what was happening. She was very scared. She is a little, so she is a child part. And she did not know what was happening, and it was very scary for her. And then this is why, when we sought out our therapist, in so many words, she was made to feel incredibly unsafe by this person. We went through another traumatic event in early 2024, and this is where our trauma holder actually got stuck up front for nearly a year, and that was very bad. Let's fast forward, because I've been filming for 17 minutes. I'm sure it's cut down. I don't want this to be super long, but I mean, if it is, it is. I don't know if anyone's even going to listen to this, but this is also for us for the future if we ever want to look back on it. Hi guys! Long story, super short. In medical settings, we have brought up the possibility of being a system a few times, but in March, we were finally taken seriously. And as of March 2026, we have started living full-time as a system. This was a long time coming. I think we have always known we were a system, but we obviously never wanted to label ourselves as such before we knew for sure. We also were scared at the prospect of having several, which is at the time of recording 17, alters. People who have their own hopes and dreams and way of living, and it's beautiful and it's scary. I feel like I have to say this. I do recognize the climate online is an absolute cesspool when it comes to, I'm gonna fall, of this suitcase. It is a cesspool when it comes to things like OSDD and DID. I think, honestly, it's disgusting the way people blast people all over places like fake disorder cringe, because quite frankly, you have no idea what these people are going through. You don't know. You're not a medical professional. I, like everyone else in my system and beyond, deserve to take up space and live as they are authentically. This has been such an eye-opening experience in finally getting answers that I will exist as I am. We will exist as we are. And that's all there is to it. So finally, there we go, 20 minutes in on the dot. Our diagnosis is OSDD-1B. That is otherwise specified disorder -1B. Now, this disorder sits outside of other diagnoses, including DID. OSDD1 is the subtype closest to dissociative identity disorder, or DID, as I have been referring to it as. With 1B, we do have alters, and they all have their own roles. Everything about our system follows the structure of DID. However, we do not, to our knowledge, have substantial amnesia between parts. We do experience emotional amnesia, and occasionally there is discrepancies between the parts, so it is confusing. We have, lost time, forgotten things. This has been a thing for our whole life. Because it is not as severe as, let's say, I wake up in an unfamiliar place, I am placed in OSDD-1B. Now, that could change in the future as we continue treatment, but for the time being, I have been classified as OSDD-1B, and that is what we're going off of. We're on the last page. Okay. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, going forward, we will be shifting our content slightly. While we have discovered that cosplay itself is actually how our alters show up in the world, and I know you're watching Fake Disorder Cringe, it's actually kind of funny because alters are distinct parts. They actually all have their own style. I have my own style. I'm a girly pop. My name's Sadie. I don't think I mentioned this. Hello, I'm Sadie. I am a fictive alter, and I am very angry at people who doubt systems just because certain alters like getting dressed up a little bit. It's kind of nasty. It's very stinky behavior. You should really work on that. Yes, cosplay is how we front, and that is how it has been actually since 2009 when we started. Our very first, or one of our first fictive alters was Maximum Ride, and we cosplayed Max, and we lived as Max. We were actually distraught over the notion that we were not an avian human, and we would wish for wings before bed every night and wake up sobbing in the morning when we didn't have wings. This is not a typical childhood, oh, I want to fly. This was a soul-deep, soul-crushing experience and like a loss of identity. This is how it has been for a very long time. We have done a lot of introspection, and we have been able to actually go back and link pieces and alters and grieve alters who have either gone dormant or fused without our knowledge because we were not aware that we were a system. So this has been a very long thing. I'm sorry. I don't like getting aggressive. I'm just passionate about this. I really am. So, as angry as I have gotten, we are not professionals. We are not here to educate. There are plenty of amazing channels on the platform that have helped us and many other systems. We are not here to educate. We are honestly just wanting to take up our little space on the internet to maybe do fun vlogs. That's kind of our goal, is to get out more and experience the world as our authentic selves. We have been, like going to the mall, going for walks, and we've been getting dressed up, and it feels great. Another thing is some of us are more comfortable being on cameras than others. We have had a clear discussion about this, and we are also going to give the others a chance to review this video before we upload it, just in case there's questions, concerns, any bits that they would prefer for us to cut out. I am not one of the ones in charge. I'm just here. I'm just a girl. But yes, there are boundaries. We are going to be safe with it because this is what's important to us. And believe it or not, you have actually seen some of us before. You've probably seen a lot of us. That's the end of my script. Thank you so much for listening to my ramble. But the video's not over because I get to open our presents. So Nate has been getting us into Pokemon cards. We all love it. It's so fun. So, oh, my brush, I'm a girl. So yes, we are going to open up a couple of these. I found this line of cards. They're Sword and Shield Astral Radiance. And I love every single bit of artwork in these, so yeah, I thought it would be fun. We're gonna rip some packs, okay? I'm getting good at this. Alright. Can you see? Can you see? Okay. I wanna see too. Psyduck. See, isn't it cute? Isn't it so cute? I love it. Oh, Petil, so cute. I have a hollow version of this one. Scantler. What a cutie. Bergamite. Cute. Mighty Yenna, very pretty. See, they're actually, the pulls, I think that's the term. The pulls we've been getting from these are really nice. We get a lot of these full art ones. And then Palika, very nice. Yeah, so pretty. Yeah, and then these have like 10 extra cards in them. So, yeah, I just gave myself a paper cut. Oh, these were the two last ones. I thought that I think we already got this one, but that's okay. And then Bisharp. These two are the last ones. Okay. Oh, no, I'm lying. I'm totally lying. We did not get that. Oh, that's cute. I got the evolutions. That's cute. That's very cute. Okay. Last pack. This is a Scyther. Very nice, very nice. An Eevee. Heracross. Teddy Ursa, so cute. This is one of my favorite cards. We've gotten one of these before. I think they're so cute. Oh my god, I wanted this one! I wanted this one. Look at how cute. Yeah, it's the Radiant Hawlucha. Isn't that cute? Isn't that so cute? Oh, this one's Nate's. Look at that baby. That's for you. What is that? What does this mean? I'll have to look this up. I don't know what this is. Super effective glasses. Brozone. Do what? Cute. I am so glad I pulled that Hawlucha. Those were some great pulls. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Can someone tell me what this is? Anyway, that was our little fun thing that we did for ourselves after going through that. This was fun though. I've never been on camera before. Do you like my makeup? Actually, something fun that might happen in the very near future is I might be interested in doing a stream of a very important game. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, let me know. That's all for today. That's all I have. We have a bird. We have a bird. Isn't she cute? I'm kind of like unmasking now that I've mentioned that I'm on camera. I don't really know how to end this, but if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and a thumbs up. A like is a thumbs up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. And please be nice. Please practice acceptance of everyone, even if you don't understand them. Because most often than not, their troubles aren't so different from your own. And even if they are, I think that we can all practice empathy and being kind to one another. So, yes, if you like my vibe, feel free to check out our other videos and consider subscribing. There is something else. Oh, that notification bell. Click that. I think that's all I need to say. From me and Junie, we hope you have a lovely day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.